Hey guys, my name is Ethan, and this week we're going to be talking about 10 facts you might have not known about Donald Trump.
Number 10.
In Trump's early years, he was known as the troublemaking boy down the street. He went to elementary school at junior high in Queens, New York, until his parents started to get really tired of his attitude, so they sent him to military school when he was only the age of 13. At this new school, the young Trump was learning business and was taught discipline. He eventually graduated from military academy and went to study at the University of Pennsylvania. Wow, Trump must have been a really bad kid if his parents wanted to actually send him to military school. What's the worst he could have been doing? Maybe planning World War III? We'll never know.
Number 9.
Believe it or not, there's actually an award you can win for being the worst actor of the year, and it's called the Razzie Award. And surprisingly enough, in 1990, Trump won one of these awards for being the worst supporting actor for his cameo role appearing as himself in the 1990s movie Ghosts Can't Do It. Come on, Trump. Is it really that bad that you win an award for not playing yourself good enough? I guess Trump is gonna have to go back to acting school and practice on his performance before he hits the silver screen again.
Number 8.
According to visits from Late Night with Conan O'Brien, Trump claims he's never used an ATM machine in his life. And I don't blame him. It makes sense since he must have piles of cash everywhere he goes. The man is practically an ATM machine himself.
Number 7.
Although Trump has his own vodka brand, surprisingly enough, he does not drink. The Donald has never smoked a cigarette, drank alcohol, or done drugs in his life. Quite the opposite of a certain mayor from Toronto, if you know what I mean. His older brother Fred was an alcoholic for many years and warned Trump to avoid drinking. Ultimately, his brother died from his habits, which might have been the pushing point of his restricted alcoholic habits.
Number 6.
Trump is a germaphobe. Not much people know this, but Trump dislikes shaking hands. It's thought that he's purely enforced on securing his own sanitation. But when forced to shaking hands, he has an interesting technique of vigorously pulling the other person close into his body so he can avoid shaking their hands.
Number 5.
Back in the 1980s, Trump had the opportunity to buy the New England Patriots, but with spite, he turned down the opportunity because he didn't think it was a good enough investment. But surely enough, he regrets not doing the purchase, for the team is now worth more than $2 billion. That's almost the same amount as his own net worth.
Number 4.
You might know this already, but Trump-related companies have been filed for corporate bankruptcy at least 4 times in the past. The first time was in 1991. The Trump Taj Mahal in Atlantic City filed for bankruptcy first. Then in 1992, it was the Trump Plaza in Atlantic City, of which he had to give up 49% stake of the hotel to the lenders. Then in 2004, it was the Trump Hotel and Casino Resort, and most recently, the Trump Entertainment Resort in 2009. Boy, that's some pretty rough business he's dealing with, but I do have to give it to him that he's still standing.
Number 3.
Trump is the only presidential candidate that has its own board game. The game is called Trump the Board Game. The Monopoly-like game launched in 1989 and was ultimately discontinued after dismal sales and poor reviews. I'm not surprised. The game looks like a school education game that was meant to bore the living crap out of children. Who wants to spend their days calculating equations and buying real estate for fun? I know Trump does.
Number 2.
As a comedic joke, Trump decided to offer President Barack Obama free lifetime use of his golf courses. The only thing he required in return was Barack Obama's resignation of his presidency. Wow, that's a slap in the face for the man leading your own country. All I can say is that Trump has some pretty big balls to pull off a prank like that, especially to your president.
Number 1.
As you all know, Trump is a pretty rich guy. He likes huge results, huge numbers, and huge buildings. According to the Forbes magazine, Trump's net worth fluctuates around $2.7 billion in total. That's not bad for a guy who started out with $1 million in New York City, but it still doesn't beat Bill Gates. Thanks everybody for watching this video and keep peaching on. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more videos.